Okay, good morning from Darlington Raceway Media Center, the Jim Hunter Media Center. We are joined by our first driver availability today, and that is Erik Jones. Erik, welcome to Darlington. Thanks for getting up a little early for us. What's your outlook coming into the weekend?
Yeah, I always enjoy this race, so look forward to it every year. But I feel like we've got a good car, been getting our stuff better on the mile and a half, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I look forward to this race every year and enjoy the weekend and enjoy the race tomorrow. And yeah, it's been a fun one for me, so excited to get it going.
Okay, if you have a question for Erik, please raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. We'll start over here to Hunter and then go to Chris.
Eric, Hunter Thomas with the fourturn.com. We'll see a good bit cooler temperatures tomorrow night. How do you think that'll play in the race, especially towards the end where tire wear is going to be really important?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, the track I feel like always goes kind of free here as the night goes on. I don't know if that'll change it a whole lot. It definitely, as the tires, when it's colder like that, they don't get as worn out and as slick, so the line changes quite a bit, I feel like, at night kind of every year. But with it being colder, it might make it go a little bit freer there, especially as it gets cooler and cooler through the night. But definitely one of the colder, late summer Southern 500s I can remember in the last few years. So it'll be a bit different, especially with lines and where you run with the tires just wearing out a little bit less.
Go over here to the right.
Hey, Erik, Pete Iacobelli with the Associated Press. Do you always get the feeling when you come here, hey, I'm comfortable with this track, I know how to win here because of your success that you've had?
Yeah, I feel like we have a shot to win. Definitely when we do come here. I feel like this is our best chance in a few years, just because our cars are getting better. The last couple of years, I don't think we've quite had the cars that we've needed to contend, but this year I think we'll be a bit closer. This is a similar car to what we had in Indy, where we had a lot of speed, and so I think that'll transfer over quite a bit. I know a lot of different track, but it will transfer some speed over. So definitely feel good about it. It's a hard one to win. It's just everything's got to go really well. A lot of green flag stops. You can't get caught in a yellow or a weird situation. Things really got to work out well through the night to have opportunities. But definitely have the confidence coming here, knowing that I feel like I know how to run the race and know what I need for my car, and know if it's doing certain things that we'll be able to contend. So you don't have that feeling every week. There's not always tracks you're comfortable at or had a car that was good enough to win to where you feel like you can kind of repeat that. But you definitely have that feeling.
Erik, Chris Wilner, Motor Racing Network. This is one of those weekends where we're going to be on track in an hour and 15 minutes, and it's going to be completely different come Sunday. So how much stock do you take into today's practice and qualifying session, and what can you do? How do you approach it, knowing the conditions are going to be completely different tomorrow?
Yeah, it's... well, I guess thankful we're at least in Group 2. That gives us a few more minutes to get some heat here and some rubber laid down. But, yeah, it's tough. I feel like practice for this race specifically is tough just because it goes to night the way it does. But there's a few things that I look for my car to do. It'll be tough with as cool as it is today. It's going to drive good compared to what the race will be like. So hope I can still kind of search those things out. And like I said, there's a couple things I like to look for in each end that if it's doing well, I think that it'll have it race pretty well. So hopefully we can kind of feel that out and get somewhat close to that. But probably just try to make one long run, see what our fall-off's like. Even as cool as it is, you'll still be able to get a good sense of kind of how your car falls off after 10 or 15 or 20 laps. So that'll be probably the most important for us.
Come up here to Mark and then go to Chris.
Mark Arrow, Performance Racing Network. Your team is as an organization, has made some steps forwards this year, but what's the disappointment in not making the playoff, and what do you want to get out of the final 10 races to maybe set you up for that next year?
Yeah, I mean, that was a big goal of ours, was to make the playoffs, but you know, frankly, we just weren't good enough, just didn't execute good enough the days that we had cars that were capable of contending for wins, and you put it all down to the last minute at Daytona, it's tough to make that work. So disappointed in some ways, proud in other ways, just of the performance, gains we've made, but we're still just not where we need to be. We've gotten our mile-and-a-half stuff better, but we haven't got our short track road course stuff where it needs to be yet. And I think that kind of at the end of the day, we went through a stretch there, 3 road courses, couple road, short tracks. That stretch of races just didn't do any favors for us. We were on the cusp of pointing into the playoffs, and all of a sudden we, 5 races later, we're 120 out. So, just weren't good enough to do it. So, you take that lump and move on. But the final 10 races, there's some good tracks for us, obviously, this weekend. Starting that off, we tested at Gateway, going there next weekend, so I think that'll be strong for us. And there's some other Kansas, Vegas. There's some tracks in this last 10 that we should run well at, and just hope that, obviously a win would be great, but hope we can continue just to work on our execution. We've got some new pit crew members on the 43, so just continuing to try to work to get execution better to be at that high level, hopefully for next year.
Chris Knight, catchfence.com. Eric, to follow up on Mark's question, what do you feel like was the light switch that turned the performance on? What ignited it, or where did you guys find that you felt like you guys really started to come on in late May, early June?
Well, I mean, there was a lot of new people that came into Legacy towards, September, October of last year. It takes time to build out a new process and a new way of doing things, and I feel like it just took that stretch to get everybody comfortable in the way we were building cars, probably get our cars mapped out to know which ones were even our best, and it's still kind of that work in progress. But for us, we didn't have any notebook. 22, 23, even 24, we were so far off. We just had no notes to really go off of and look at to get better. So we have kind of spent all this year just building that notebook and trying to work from it. And I would say that's where our short track and road course stuff has struggled, because we don't have good notes on it, and we need to build that out. But I think just the new process in place at the end of last year, it took 6 months for everybody to get to that point where it showed performance.
Any other questions for Eric? Before you go, Eric, I see you brought a little friend here. You want to explain that?
Yeah, that's Oscar, my dog. This is his little plushie, but we sell him at the merch trailer. We got him back in stock. We sold a few more than we thought right off the bat, but supports my foundation for the animal welfare side of things. All the proceeds and profits go back to the foundation for the animal welfare program. So back in stock this weekend. So yeah, if you get a chance to head out to the merch trailer, we got him back for him.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Eric, and good luck tomorrow.